What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Dark Souls video where I'll be taking on all the bosses. This time I'm in the next level where I'll be taking on the next boss, Oceiros the Consumed King. I think that's how you say his name anyway. I could be wrong. Anyway, this level was actually a pretty short one. I mean, there was a few difficult areas, and there was a few interesting pickups, but overall it was very short, which did make me nervous, especially as I was getting closer and closer to this fog door, because I could hear sort of moaning and wailing in the distance, so I was really nervous at this point. Especially where all these scratches that other players have left, and they're all saying, you know, shit's gonna go down, and to top it all off, before this fight, this cutscene starts, and in my experience, any boss that starts off with a cutscene pretty much says that it's gonna be a terrible boss, so I was pretty panicking at this point. But, nevertheless, we were gonna get to it anyway. Okay, so one of the first things that I noticed when I started this fight was all those bloodstains on the middle of the arena, and for anyone who doesn't know, the bloodstains are from other players around the world who have died. So all those bloodstains are other people that have died trying to beat this boss. And you add that onto all those scratch marks before I got into the boss, and they were all warning me, and I was definitely very intimidated at this point. But when I started the boss, one of the first things I noticed was that he wasn't actually that fast. And he didn't actually have that many moves. I mean, there was that ice move that you just saw right there, but keep your distance from that. And it's got a pretty big build-up, so you know it's coming. So keep your distance from it, and it just won't damage you at all. He's got his pretty standard swiping attacks, but again, he's got such big build-up that you know they're coming. You've got plenty of time to get out the way. But then he enters his second stage, which is this. And do you remember how I said that he was incredibly slow his first stage? Well, that all fucking changes now, okay? He's got this ridiculous charging move right now, which really reminded me of the Ice Dog boss. And I found that the best place to attack him was from his rear. So that would be my advice to anyone who's doing this boss, but you do have to be very careful because he's got sort of like this whipping move that he does with his tail if you're behind him, so you do have to be very careful. But despite that, I do still genuinely think that that is the best place to be, because if you're behind him, he can't do that charge attack just there. That's the whipping move that I was talking about. If you're behind him, he can't rush at you like that. So you can get a few hits in. Just be careful of his tail, which I wasn't there. But, yeah, it's really not that difficult as long as you stay behind him, which has been the case with quite a few bosses, really. But, hey, I guess it works, right? So, anyway, this boss gave me no trouble whatsoever. I mean, I beat him on my very first go. Which I was definitely happy about. I'm always going to be happy whenever I beat a boss on my first go. But, yeah, my advice still stands for anyone who hasn't fought this boss yet. My advice would be stick to his rear, get a few hits in, but don't get greedy with your hits, you know, because if you do, he's going to whip you with that tail. So, don't get too greedy with your hits, and after you've hit him a couple of times with his back, get out of there. And just repeat yourself until he's dead. And there you have it, guys. That's another boss beaten, and I'm extremely happy that I beat him on my first go, especially when I noticed all those bloodstains and ominous messages. I was extremely happy. So, yeah, like I said, this wasn't really the longest of levels, and to be completely honest, it wasn't one of my favorites. I'm just leaving a few positive messages here because I was happy that I beat him. So yeah, I don't know for sure, but I don't think there's many bosses left. I mean, I could be wrong. There could be loads more for all I know. I don't think there is though, because obviously every time I beat a boss, you get a trophy, and if you actually go on your trophy list of this game, you'll see sort of blanked out areas. There's not many of them left, so I can only assume there's not many bosses left. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to be bringing it back when I get to the next boss. And hopefully he'll give me more of a challenge, because I haven't faced one in a while. So yeah, I'm going to end the video, and I'll see you next time, guys.